Hi guys, hope you're all doing well. I just wanted to quickly sit down and test out the new NATASHA DENONA High Glam Powder Foundation. I literally just got this in the mail a couple minutes ago. I haven't even opened the box yet, but I've been wanting to try this so much. I know it can be tricky for those of us who are over 40 who have dry skin to find a good powder foundation because a lot of them can look really dry and cakey and settle into the pores and fine lines and all of that. So I'm hoping that this is going to be good. The reviews I've seen on it so far have been really promising, and I'm gonna do a wear test, so we'll see how this holds up throughout the day as well. And just quickly, if you're new here and you like unsponsored makeup reviews, be sure to hit the subscribe button, and let's go ahead and jump right in and get started. All right, so before I go ahead and apply this, let's just quickly read the claims and see what this is actually supposed to do. So this is $55. You can buy it on NATASHA DENONA's website, and I do have a 15% off code for her site that you can use on anything. So there's that. And also it's available at Ulta if you have Ulta points and you want to do it that way. I'll link both of them down in the description box. And this comes in 36 shades, which I think is a really good shade range for a powder foundation. It also claims to have blurring properties. It says Blurring Flex Tech Hybrid Powder that's supposed to give you a poreless second skin finish, which sounds amazing. Hopefully that's the case. So let me just quickly show you what the packaging looks like. And I got it in the shade RN3, which is supposed to be light rosy neutral. This is a really pretty compact. It's a light peach color with the gold accents. On the back, you have the little holes to air out the sponge that's in here. And then when you open it up, there's a beautiful mirror, and then here's the powder itself. So I'm gonna show you a swatch in just a second, but underneath the little door, it comes with a sponge, which is nice. So here's what that looks like. And just looking at the powder, it definitely seems to have a little bit more of a rosy undertone, which I love. So let me just swatch it for you guys really quick. Actually, now that I'm swatching it, I'm a little worried that this is gonna be too light for me. So here's what that looks like. I mean, it's definitely lighter than my skin tone, so oh boy. All right, so I'm just gonna go ahead and clip my hair back really fast. I did let it air dry today, which is why it looks like this. I wasn't intending on filming a video, but my hair naturally has a little bit of wave to it. So when I let it air dry, this is what happens. First, I'm gonna start with a sunscreen, and this is the Bubble +1 Mineral Sunscreen. I love this stuff. This is so nice. It's a really thin, super lightweight formula, and it's a little bit hydrating. So I feel like it'll maybe give me just a little tiny bit more hydration, which I might need going in with the powder foundation. So I'm just gonna quickly put this on. I also feel like if you add a powder foundation to a tacky base, that helps it to grip a little bit better. I would also suggest applying concealer first in the areas that you normally use it, just because it's harder to put the liquid on top of a powder. So I like to just put this down first in a couple of areas. One is my eye area. By the way, this is the NATASHA DENONA High Glam Concealer, and it's in the shade R2. So I just pat this on the outer edge of my eye and also a little bit in the inner corner. And this is a beautiful concealer if you haven't tried it. It's great for dry skin, or if you have fine lines. I feel like it doesn't settle into them or look cakey. It's really nice. And then I'm just gonna put a little bit on and around my nose because I feel like I have a lot of redness in this area as well. And I don't know how well the powder foundation is going to cover, so we'll have to see. All right, so next, when it comes to the powder itself, I want to try applying it both with the sponge and also just with a buffing brush, and we'll see which I like better. So I'm going to start with the sponge that she gave. In my experience, sponges usually give you a little bit more coverage than a brush will, so that's just something to think about depending on what you're going for. So I'm just gonna use the sponge on this side. This is actually one of those really, really smooth sponges that almost has no texture to it at all. It's kind of rubbery. I'm actually not a huge fan. I don't know if I really want to use this. Hold on one second. All right, I'm gonna use this little puffy sponge. It's just like one of the fuzzy ones. You can get these on Amazon. This is from Huda Beauty, but you can get them pretty inexpensively. So I'm just gonna pick it up with that instead. I just didn't like the one that she gave in the compact. Yeah, this one's much better. I feel like it picks up and distributes the product a lot more evenly. And the color actually isn't too bad. In a swatch, I was thinking it looked so light, and I actually went up a shade in the powder foundation because the concealer I use in R2, so the foundation is R3, or RN3. So I was really kind of shocked when I swatched it and it looked super light. But one thing I'm noticing right away is this is a super blurring powder. My skin looks amazing right now. I'm definitely gonna show you close up in just a minute, but I don't feel like it's looking dry at all. Actually, it's grabbing a little bit on my chin now that I look closer in the mirror. On my cheek area, it looks good. On my forehead, it looks good. My chin, I don't know. All right, so up close and personal, over here we have the powdered side. You can see it's like grabbing a little bit on my chin. I'm not crazy about how that looks, but I think the rest looks okay. And then over here we have the non-powdered side. So there's more glow, there's more texture visible. I feel like this just looks really nice and the coverage is decent as well. All right, I'm gonna try the other side with a brush. This is the BK Beauty 101 angled foundation brush. So this one is not the densest brush, and I think brush really matters when you're using powder products. If you use something a little fluffier, it's gonna give you lighter coverage, and if you use like a really dense, you know, flat top buffing brush, then you're gonna get heavier coverage. This one I feel like is kind of somewhere in between, and I'm really just going for more of a medium coverage look. But right away, I'm liking the sponge side a little bit more. I think that one looks slightly smoother. I feel like I can still see my pores a little bit more on this side, but also my chin looks better on this side. So I think it's just because it's not quite as much coverage. So here's just a close-up look at both sides of my face. I feel like it looks okay right now. So sometimes too, powder foundations take a few minutes to kind of settle into your skin, mix with the oils a little bit, and then they can look even better after a few minutes. So I'm hoping that that's true of this one. Another thing you could do to kind of help melt them into your skin is use a setting spray. So I think I'm gonna use the new one from e.l.f., the new Power Grip Dewy Setting Spray. This one also has a little bit of hydration, so I think it might help the powder to settle a little bit. All right, guys, so I'm gonna go ahead and just do the rest of my makeup quickly and I'll come right back. All right, so makeup's done. I'm wearing the Viseart Paris Reveries palette, which I talked about in a recent video. This is such a beautiful palette. I love all of the purples that are in here. Also, the NYX Buttermelt Blush in the shade My Butta Half. So this is like a really beautiful cooler tone pink. So I also did a whole video on these and swatched them all. So that's that. And then lip gloss, I'm wearing the REM Glossy Balm in Juice Box, which is a really gorgeous purple, but it kind of looks pink once it's on your lips. So anyway, I think the powder is looking pretty good. I think it kind of settled into my skin a little bit. So I'm gonna leave you guys here for now and I'll check in midday sometime. We'll see how everything looks and I'll show you what this looks like in natural lighting outside. And then tonight I'll come back and give you my final thoughts. So I'll see you guys a little bit later. Hey guys, I'm just about to pick up my son from school, so I wanted to do a check-in. It's been about 3 hours, so not too long. But let me just show you what the powder foundation looks like because we're in outdoor lighting now, so you'll really be able to see the texture on my skin. I mean, I don't feel like it looks more textured than any other liquid foundation, but it also doesn't look perfectly smooth. Like it's not gonna look completely airbrushed. I mean, it is going to kind of enhance the lines a little bit, like pretty much any foundation will. I'm also squinting a little bit out here because it's so bright. But yeah, I think for a powder foundation, it does look pretty good. So I'll check in again with you guys at the end of the day. I mean, so far it's holding up well. So that's a good thing. We'll see if it makes it like 8 or 9 hours. So I'll see you guys in a little bit. All right, guys, it's about 8 p.m. So I just want to quickly do a final check-in, and looking at my skin in the mirror, I actually like it a lot more than I did when I first applied it. And I think as the day went on, it's looked less powdery. And like I was saying earlier in the video, it kind of mixes with the oils in your skin a little bit and it just settles in more. So rather than sitting on top, it kind of melts in and becomes one with your skin, and it really still looks good. I feel like I have coverage everywhere I put it. My nose still looks covered. I might have just a tiny little bit of breakthrough redness on my chin, but otherwise I think it actually looks great. The setting spray could definitely have something to do with that because the last time I used that e.l.f. setting spray, my makeup lasted the entire day. It was fabulous. So I don't know quite how this will work on its own without that, but I just recommend applying a setting spray on top of powder foundation anyway, because I do think it helps things to kind of meld into your skin a little bit more and it takes away that powdery finish. So do I actually recommend this for dry skin? I would say yes, it's one of the better powder foundations that I've tried. I've tried the Jane Iredale one, which I really like. The Laura Geller one also I think looks great on dry skin. There's a CoverGirl Simply Ageless powder foundation that I also really love that I did a whole video on. And also Makeup Forever's powder foundation is really nice, very smoothing. So I would definitely put this in the category of those. I do think it looks really natural. It has great coverage, especially if you use it with a sponge versus a brush. I think you'll get the most, like, maximum coverage with something like this. And it does have that really nice blurring effect on your skin. So, I mean, overall, I think powder foundations are awesome in the summertime when you don't want to deal with liquids and it's super hot and humid out. A powder can just feel really light and not break up as quickly as a liquid. So I would say this is dry skin friendly. Next time on my chin area, I'll probably put like maybe a smoothing primer or just something to minimize that slightly cakey look that I got earlier in the day, like when I first put it on. But looking at my chin now, it doesn't look like that anymore. And to be honest, it didn't even look like that in the car when I did my check-in after only a couple of hours. So I think it settles pretty quickly. I'd love to hear what you guys think. If you've tried this foundation already, let us know in the comments whether you're dry, oily, combo. Let us know your skin type and just how you felt about this in general. I would love to hear from you. And I want to thank you all so much for taking time out of your day to watch this video. I truly appreciate it. And if you'd like to see something else, I'll just put another video right up here and you can check that out next. Thank you guys so much. I hope you have a great rest of your day and I'll see you in my next video. Take care. Bye.